Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we are going to do the area of 2D shapes by using a formula and conversion between SI unit to solve or calculate the area and solve problems of polynomials. Firstly, what is an area? Area is the flat space inside the shape or inside the boundary. If you look on our right-hand side, since the area is measured in square units, we will start by defining the area of a unit square. But underneath there is a square, which is 1 unit. It's in 1 unit its length and 1 unit its height. So when we multiply the two, the area of the object is defined as 1 unit. Like I said earlier, if you cover the shape, we talk of the area. All yellow cover is the area of a shape. You see now, when I cover that area with the yellow color, it is the area. If I color the circle with that yellow, it's also an area. If I color the triangle with that yellow, it's an area. And lastly, when I color the pentagon, it's also an area. You can see the area is the space inside the polygons or inside the boundary around the polygon. Now, we use SI unit of an area, which is the International System of Units, that is SI. An area cannot be calculated using centimeters or meters because these measures are used only on a straight line. But to measure area, we use square units. Here is an example of the area. When we measure area, we cannot use centimeters, we cannot use meters, but we only use squares. That's why on my right-hand side here, we use square unit to calculate the area. The area of that rectangular shape, it is how many squares? We can count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 squares inside that rectangle. Calculating the area, we use 3 strategies to calculate the area of a polygon. Firstly, counting the square units inside the boundary or a shape. The area of that red rectangle, it is 24. By counting the square using the units inside the boundary of the shape, that's how we can find the area. Number 2, we use a formula. Using the formula of the shape, depending on the type of the shape. We shall discuss different formulae later on. E.g., but here I've got the area of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle is length multiplied by height. And the square is, the area is L squared. Number 3, for irregular polygons, we decompose the shape and count the square units. You can see in our right-hand side, we have that irregular polygon. Firstly, I've cut the regular polygon into 2 shapes. The first one has 10 units. The second one has 9 units. You can see the rectangle 1 has 2 by 5, which is equal to 10 square units. And rectangular 2 is 3 by 3, where we have 9 square units. As I indicated, I mentioned 3 strategies. The first one is by counting the number of squares inside the shape. You can see now, if I have to find the area of that rectangle on my left-hand side, I have to draw, using the squares, then draw that figure, and then thereafter I count the number of squares inside. The first one is a rectangle. It is 15 squares, which means the area of that is 15 square unit. The second one has 12 square unit. By using the squares, then you can count the number of squares inside the shape. There are 12, which means the area of that shape, which is an L shape, is 12 squares. You can see the example that follows of that. We lay our grid to make easier for us to calculate the area. You can see number one, where we have length by width, which is an area. It is 3 by 3, and then it is 9. The second rectangle, it is 6 by 3, which is 18. And then we have the parallelogram. With the parallelogram, you can count the number of squares, but there are those that are not fully. You can combine those that are not full with the others to make a full squares inside. The same with the one of trapezium, and the same with the two triangle. Here is an example of the third one of decompose of the shape. Example, if you use that to find the area of the first figure, you cut the two shapes in the two shape from the one that is given. The first one has 4 square units inside. The other one has 15 square units, number one. Therefore, you have to add the 2 to get the total number of the area of the shape. The same with example number 2. Rectangular one, it's where you multiply 2 by 5, where it's gone to 10 square units. And rectangular number 2 is 3 by 3, and you have 9 square units. So the 3 strategies that I've talked about, this is the third one, when you decompose the figure of the irregular shape. However, what if we don't have squares? This is an example of a netball ground. So here we can use the third strategy, whereby you multiply the height and the length. If you multiply the height and the length, it will be length, which is 9 meters, multiplied by 5 meters. And when we multiply that, it's going to give us 45. However, remember the first time I said, if you have to find the area of any shape, we use squares. Look, now that 9 meters is equals to how many squares is the length that has? You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 9. And when you go to the height, there are 5. You can count the number of squares inside, you'll get 90, you'll get 45. Now, this is the first one of counting the squares inside. The second one, we did it, what we count there? We decompose the figure. Now, here are the other one. Now here it's 7. Now if we don't have the squares, you only multiply the height and the length. That will get there. The height here is 4 and the length is 7. Therefore, when we multiply the 2, it's going to get 28 square meters. The last one, by using the formula. Here are the examples of formula for each figure or for each polygons. For the rectangle, the area, or to find the area of that using the formula, the area is equals to base multiplied by height. For the triangle, it's half the area of the rectangle. It is area is equal to base multiplied by height, all divided by 2. For parallelogram, it is area, the formula is area equals base by height. I've indicated where is the height, also where is the base. For the trapezium, the area is, the formula that you're supposed to use is the sum of the 2 parallel lines multiplied by height, all divided by 2. You can see in the figure there, the A and B are parallel. Therefore, you have to add the 2 sides and multiply by the height, and all divided by 2. For the circle, it's area pi r. These are the formulas that we are going to use to calculate the different shapes. Thank you for the day. I think you have seen how to calculate the area of polygons and stuff like that. Thank you very much for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.